something that has stuck to you for you to relate it at this moment. So it's had such an impact. Those specific events. You know, I have a lot of questions, I'm sure you do too. And some of my questions are generic, some of them will be specific to your guys' situations and your feelings and how you're using that as of today, what you guys have learned. I mean, I'll start with one that I know you guys have a lot in common, is saying, God has a plan for me. So I am pretty sure everyone said that. For me to understand what is the plan that it has for you, I want you guys to share, whoever wants to share, what is that specific plan that you guys feel God has for you?
The thing I can share is I do the best of my ability to give out to others. And the scripture that comes to mind in 1 Peter 3:15 is to give the hope that lies within you. And that's Christ. And I try to do that to the best of my ability and to get out of myself and to give to others, just in society, just in general. And so that's where I'm at today. And so that's what I try to do daily.
That's God's plan for you.
Yeah, it's God's plan.
To make Him known to other people.
Yeah.
And there's people that will show up here and say, I met this guy on the bus and he told me to come here. And I'm like, Jess.
Well, my thing was death. So after I got to know God, and one of the scriptures was that, I have a plan for you. I think it's, I forget what scripture, a plan for me. Then the thing came with the cross, He did all this for us. As I started to connect the dots together, I go, so you're calling in my life. But I'm talking to God. Man doesn't have nothing compared, nothing for me. And I go, so the things that I've faced and things that I've done and things that I survived, you were there all the time. You had to be. There was no way I could have come through some of that, like Jess and some of these others. There's no way we would have came out of it because we weren't thinking of nothing else. What came into our minds? What came into our head to turn away from that? What? Some of us, as you get taught by some of these other guys, like the brothers here, saying certain things, I already thought of that. We had a calling. Predestined. The Bible tells it all. As you read this, it was touch on certain things, and you stop. Predestined. We were already called to go through all this before we were born. I had to go way back then. I said, if this was all pre-planned, then you have something else for me. Because there was no way I have faced this many incidents or destruction or hurt or whatever you want to call it, as I put these words together. There's no way I wasn't looking for nothing. I wasn't looking to survive. I'm a survivor, but not to. Some of this stuff I did suicidal. I knew I was going to come out, but yet I came out of it. I said, and so many others have not. So why me, God? I don't deserve any of this. Well, nobody does. Everybody's sinful. You're born in sin. As you read this Bible, and I said, okay, God, let me get back into this. And then you have to meditate what makes sense to you. The same thing when you're first born. Who's teaching you this? Your parents. And as you get old enough, you start to fade away from your parents and try to learn your way. Or something tragic happens in your lives, you start thinking crazy stuff. And you're going to be I was put in isolation. And for that moment, all I had was my mind. So I went into it and I had, and then I started going back into what I know and what I've been through. And I have touched on God. And I put a scripture on the wall, on my cell. And a guy came through there and he looked at the prayer and he looked at me and something struck me. But I know it, the evil in me. I thought by that was showing weakness. I ain't a weak man. I know what I'm capable of doing. But why do I feel weakness? Why do I feel like a coward? Why do I feel like, I'm supposed to show people how tough and bad I am? Or how crazy I can drink and do all this crazy stuff. So, my thing was death. Plan God has for your life. But you have to realize, rationalize it out in reality. There's no way we would have survived any of this without it. I don't know what you guys have been through, what you guys did, but you're still young. You got a whole life out there. But in the meantime, you're doing the fine thing. Us, we were doing something different. We were men, we're not women. You guys are different. But when you're in your trade, you will deal with men. Crazy as we are, you need to be careful.
Thank you.
Anything else, somebody?
Like what about your